So Jeff Trainor joins us now, and Jeff, of course, welcome onto our show today. And you're in year 5. Tell us, I guess, what made you want to come back for another season of this?
Well, for me, it was a no-brainer. Obviously, the end of last year was difficult for us, difficult for everybody in college lacrosse. And so for me, it was just really a no-brainer having the ability to come back, further my athletic and academic career here at UMass.
Absolutely. What would you say is the biggest? I know we have a pandemic going on. I'm sure that's different than when you first stepped on campus. But I guess outside of that, for you as a person and as a lacrosse player, what do you think is the biggest difference from the time when you first stepped on campus to right now?
Just a lot more experience. I feel like, anybody that comes here at UMass and does their 4 years here, you develop from, a young man into a man. And I think this program does exactly that. So I just feel like with my experience and through my time here, I've just kind of developed and, become the person who I am today through UMass lacrosse.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to the sports sort of parallels and intersects life in a lot of times, right? You can sort of see the benefits both on and off the field.
Definitely.
Yeah, and you look at your career and the player you've become. We were just joking about it. You come from Billerica, Massachusetts, and you can see that embodied in your play. And I think they were talking about on the broadcast. I mean, Jeff Trainor never comes off the field. Is that where that comes from, your upbringing? I guess, where does that mentality, what is the foundation of that for you?
Yeah, it definitely comes from my roots back home in Billerica. UMass is a very similar program to what it was like for me in high school. So I feel like I fit right in and, just trying to be a workhorse every day for those guys and try to lead them the right way is something I get out there every day and I try to do.
You do a lot of different things on the field. What would you say gives you the most joy out of everything?
That's a good one. I think just making plays in between the lines, here at UMass, we don't really have specific offensive or defensive middies like that. So there's a lot of plays to be made in between the lines, and I feel like that's definitely something that I really like. Something
that might not show up in the box score, I guess, right?
Yeah.
You can see it in film, though, the next day. Moving on and then thinking about the CAA this year, looking at the schedules and how you play everyone twice, not everybody, but you play certain teams twice, and Drexel an example of that. I mean, what kind of, and obviously you weren't able to come back and beat them a second time. What kind of dynamic do you think just this playing these teams more than once, and obviously you're going to run into that again coming up here this weekend, what does that bring mentality-wise? What is the big difference there? Why is it different?
Well, I think it's different because, we haven't done it before. So, obviously that's that. But I think it brings another challenge. It's hard to beat the same team twice. And it's, if you come off a loss, it's hard to, try to beat them again the second time. So it's just the dynamic of playing them twice within the year, which is not something that we normally do. And, now you have film on the team in situations where you thought you could have been better. So it just brings a whole nother dynamic into the second game for sure.
Yeah, so now you're running into that with Hofstra. How do you sort of avoid the same thing happening again? Are you doing something differently? Is there a different approach you take trying to beat them a second time, something you couldn't do against Drexel?
Well, definitely, Hofstra's a really good team. They have a bunch of really good players. They're good offensively, defensively, in between the lines. They're very well coached. So we're definitely going to have our hands full, but we're looking forward to this opportunity. Coming off a loss is always difficult. So we're really excited to get after it Friday night at 5.
We had their goalie on, Bobby Casey, and he admitted, he said, yeah, we don't like each other very much. Do you feel the same way? I mean, is it a mutual dislike for the programs here? Rivalry, if you will?
Yeah, I think you could say so. I think there's definitely a little tension.
That's a good thing, right? Get ready to go.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. There are always battles.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to seeing it. And before we let you go, Jeff, I want to ask, because you were, drafted in the Major League Lacrosse last year. Of course, now that's been combined with the PLL. And just in terms of what you're doing next year, it might not be that per se, but what is your next interest? What's the next step in your life, in your career after this, now that you've been in college for 5 years?
Yeah, well, with lacrosse-wise, I'm not really focused on what's going to happen with that. Right now, my main focus is here with UMass and trying to be a leader for these guys. For this 5th year, I'm enrolled in a certificate program for sustainable building construction. So I'm hoping I get some sort of job in the construction industry. Hopefully, maybe an assistant superintendent role or something like that in the city. So.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. I like that, and it's something it sounds like you're passionate about as well. And like you said, your head's in the right place right now. You still got hopefully more than a month to go of college. That's probably pretty crazy after all this time. Yeah,
for sure, no doubt. I'm trying to push off the real world as long as I can.
Well, you're almost there, so get ready. In the meantime, enjoy it, and we will too. Jeff, we appreciate your time. Jeff Trainor, thank you so much, and good luck this weekend. All right.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.